Question 260. Do you secretly hate Venice and wish that they would just let it sink into the sea?
Not really, no.
I couldn't give a shit about Venice. I don't hate it, I just couldn't give a shit.
Been there once. It was nice to have a look around, but pretty much ambivalent towards the place, to be honest.
Think it's worth saving when sea level rises?
I have never been there and doubt I would ever get there, so I'm completely ambivalent to its existing in the first place.
I quite like it. I quite like that it's there, but I'm probably not going to go there, so I wouldn't actually notice if it just sank and told me.
I feel if it just sunk, I feel a bit sorry for all the pigeons in St Mark's Square. I mean, where would they go? But you know,
Yeah.
If
Bill?
nobody told me it sank, then I wouldn't miss it.
Sorry, what was that? What was the question?
Do you secretly hate Venice and wish that they would just let it sink into the sea?
I lived there for a while.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, for about 6 months.
Do you wish
Not
it...
actually quite in Venice. I lived in a place called Marina di Venezia, which is like a 10-minute boat ride from St Mark's Square.
Mm-hmm.
Can we develop a plan to save Venice by sinking the Vatican?
that works for me.
To be honest, in general, it is a bit of a hovel, but there are some very, very nice places there that I would like to keep. In particular, there's a little jazz cafe right by the Rialto Bridge, and you could sit outside and listen to some nice jazz music, drinking espresso in the shadow of the Rialto Bridge. Nothing better.
That sounds lovely.
And how much do the espressos cost there?
Yeah, to be fair, you're right. They're not cheap. They aren't cheap. Yeah. That's true.
So if we sank everything but that bit, you'd be okay?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, well, there are other little bits. There are pockets of it here and there that you might want to save. Pockets of it, do you know what I mean?
Right, quick answers from here.
If we're going to let it sink, can we just blow it up? Because that'd be more interesting.
Sure. I'm all for blowing things up. Right.
Something down and it just vanishes into the fucking...
It's glue, you've sat on it, it's stuck to your arse.
It's not the glue, it's the fabric.
Was it Venice and did it sink?
Right, wait there.
No, I think his prick stick is what he was hoping to hold Venice together with.
I like the idea of blowing the Vatican up, grinding it.
I thought you said prick stick.
It is prick stick. Grinding the rubble up and then using that to hire the ground of Venice.
Can we grind the cardinals up as well?
Sure.
The worst bit about it is the smell.
The Vatican doesn't smell that bad.
It does.
Well, no, the Vatican doesn't. The Venice does, though. Venice, especially in the summer.
I
Venice
bet.
Smells terrible.
I would imagine so. All right, quick answer.
Well, yeah, if you don't differentiate between your streets and your sewers, you're going to have that problem.
It's not just that; it's also the fact that
algae.
The algae and also the refuse, rubbish removal. Like that is not an easy thing to do. So you end up with rubbish piled up in the streets. Especially as the fact that in Italy, most of the refuse companies are controlled by the mafia, and if they decide that for some reason that they're not getting paid enough and decide they're not collecting the rubbish just piles up in the streets and starts to stink. It's nasty.
New York has the same issue.
You don't need to differentiate between your sewers and your streets. You just call them strewers.
And then when you can use them for drinking too? Right, Morton says no, Linda says no, Joan says no, Nerdy says what's wrong with Venice? I've got no problem with Venice, Richard Herring does.
What's Richard Herring got to do with this conversation?
Half the questions come from his book.
Oh, okay.
This one being one of them. What?
Well, I always preferred Stuart Lee anyway, so...
I was sure to tell him.
Can we sink Richard Herring?
What?
Can we sink Richard Herring and say Venice?
Richard Herring's alright.
He's alright, he's just not as good as Stuart Lee.
But Stuart Lee goes on!
Anyway, it's him.
It's not that I don't find Stuart Lee funny, but he goes on an awful lot.
He does that intentionally, though. You know that.
Yes. Jen, sorry.
What?
You said something and I talked over you.
Oh no! I said if he's a herring, you're not going to be able to sink him anyway. He'll just swim away.
Oh.
So is his assistant a herring aid?
I can't find my piece of fabric. All I can find is this bloody spoon.
This bloody spoon.
You blew that with the.
Can you bend
What
it?
the hell are you making, Badger?
You can make a fucking leg brace out of a spoon at this rate.
Are you Yuri Geller?
Isn't it Yuri?
Uri, I think it's pronounced as.
I thought it was urine.
I thought it was fuckwit. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I found it.
Good. Shush.
Oh, and I found the fabric in it.
Right.
I put one on top of the other.